What an honor this is. Like many, I'll tell you guys, I grew up watching your movies and listening to your comedy albums in the 70s and 80s. So to get you guys together, this hits hard.
I hate it when really old people say that.
Isn't that the worst? The 51-year-old guy saying that? You're like, son of a bitch. That's hysterical. But
That
it's
was
damn
like in
true.
What's that one where the Michael Douglas was in the Minsky something or other? Or
Which one?
Oh, Kaminsky Report.
the Minsky Report, and he's the guy that his buddy Alan Arkin told him the same thing. Yeah, well, girls half your age are still old.
It's so true. And when I meet people my age, I'm like, damn, that dude's old. And I'm like, oh shit, we're the same age.
You're the youngsters, man. You're the youngsters.
But do you guys get together often, or is this rare to have the two of you in an interview form?
No.
It's both.
Part, yeah.
It's both. It's whatever Chief says.
Yeah. Sometimes it's rare, sometimes it's medium rare.
Of course. Now, do you guys talk a lot IRL in real life? Do you guys go back and forth?
We see each other. We live next door to each other. That's the thing. So,
Well, we do a lot of mental telepathy.
yeah.
I think we know what each other's thinking, regardless of where we're at or what's going on.
It's not really necessary to speak anymore.
Yeah, you just are all on the same. You're on the same wavelength and universe and energy field and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Well,
Absolutely.
I've been asked lately, what is your purpose? What do you want to accomplish next? And so I got the perfect answer, and the answer is, I really want everybody, the world, because Cheech and Chong can save the world. I want everybody in the world to make Cheech and Chong the richest men in the world. and it can be done. I'm serious. It can
be done.
Because we have product now. If the billions of people on the planet just buy our product, which is good for
a lot of our product,
we can become the richest entities on the planet. And I think it would be good because we know how to waste money.
You know how to blow cash and blow
we know, and that helps the economy. Hey, listen, I've been with these rich Trumpies, and they're the type that will park their car in the street so they can stiff the valet, the
valet
car
guys.
Of course.
Yeah, and they're bitching about paying millions or billions in taxes, and they'll walk miles to save whatever it is they're saving,
And they're complaining about gas prices and everything.
All of that. Well, you make Cheech and Chong the wealthiest people on the planet. And we can't be just almost. We got to be the wealthiest people.
Totally acknowledged all over the world.
We will create paradise on this planet.
Yes, very good.
And is that what you guys...
$14.95 per person.
And is that what you guys talk about when you guys do connect? You talk about how you're going to take over the world at this time of your lives?
No, we only talk about this stuff when we're doing interviews.
Yeah. Or we're going to have that really good indica. Yeah.
Now, this year does mark the 50th anniversary of Cheech and Chong, needless to say. And you just have that rare status of being culturally relevant now for 50 years. Would you have ever guessed it or have imagined it back in the 70s? Yeah?
Yeah, because we've come to learn that marijuana cuts through every segment of society. I don't care if you're a Supreme Court justice or homeless or, what you really got to worry about, not them coming getting your guns, is taking your weed.
You're right. You ain't
trying
kidding.
to take our weed. Everybody should be freaked out from that.
Well, but no one. Oh, sorry, Tommy. Yes.
No, and I have a great method of finding my weed.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yep. Well, I can't. It's a secret.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll tell me later, off screen, because I can't find no damn weed around here.
I think we can help you with that down here in San Diego, Cheech, at March and Ash. You've got plenty of weed down here for you. Now, What about when you look back? Knowing what you know now about where the culture is, what would you have told your younger selves, or what would you tell your younger selves, knowing where weed is and the culture is today?
What would I tell your younger selves?
Grow
that's one thing.
Grow
One thing about being stoned is that I forget the question. By the time I come up with the answer, I've forgotten the question.
I'll phrase it differently.
Answer.
Did you ever see this really happening, where you were making movies about selling weed out of an ice cream truck, and now you're selling your weed out of San Diego's premier dispensary group?
Absolutely. I just wonder what took them so long. Absolutely.
Really?
Because I've always, Tommy and I both have acted under the belief that it is legal.
Well, it is. It's morally legal, and morally being morally correct is much better than being legally correct.
Or having no weed.
Yeah, because if you talk about laws, there are some even right now there's some pretty weird laws on the books right now that even. Like, I've been riding around doing promotion with this Matty, and his mom and dads, he had a couple of dads, are all cops. And one thing about riding with Matty, he doesn't obey any laws, any traffic laws. You know when you pull up to the freeway and there's a red light,
just blow right through it.
He blows right through as if he's colorblind. And that's the way he drives, because they're supposed to enforce the law. Well, then they don't think the law depends on them.
Right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
So on the flip side, though, when you look at the current landscape and you think about how certain times of your career you got shit for embracing the culture so much, do you ever look back and have a little bit of "I told you so" on some of those execs who said, "You're too stoned," or "This culture is illegal"? The people who really stigmatized it, if you will, and yourselves.
We were on Bill O'Reilly one time, and I said something because like I say, we hardly talk, and when we do, it's usually on interviews, and I come up with these great ideas that I can't remember. But I remember saying to I think it was Bill O'Reilly, what if we're right? That was at the height of everything was illegal and the bongs were illegal and everything. And I said, what if we're right? What if they find out that marijuana is not only should be legal, but it should be essential? And that's what it is.
It's essential. You're absolutely correct. Yep. Now let's talk about your brands. You both have individual brands. We'll start with you, Cheech. What can you tell us about Cheech's Stash?
Well, that's better than all other brands. That's all you have. That's all you have to know. When you see the Cheech name on the thing, well, okay, that's
and the beanie, of course, the quintessential beanie. I'm in.
And you notice I don't disagree with him.
Yeah, because you get it for free.
No. You know why?
Why?
Because everybody thinks I'm Cheech. And so when he promotes his brand, he's promoting my brand.
At the same time, it's synonymous.
Not only does they think he's Cheech, they think I'm Chong's dad. He tells me that you look just like my pop.
You do.
You do. I look
That's
like everybody's
amazing.
pop. At this stage, everybody's pop or their uncle or their grandfather or their dad.
And all you got to do, Cheech, all you got to do now is just ignore people when they talk to you.
Huh?
Like that. Then you'll be just like my dad. My dad, I don't know if he was deaf or bored or what.
Deaf.
But you'd ask him a question and he wouldn't answer right away.
Yeah.
If ever. Dad, can I borrow the car tonight? I'd get no answer.
Just nothing.
Not yes, no, or nothing.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then I'd get all dressed up to go in and, Dad, can I use the car? And if he was in a good mood, he'd just take out the keys and dangle them. Like, here, take it.
Looking for the sweet spot with my wife, who not only is Russian, and she speaks with a Russian accent, but mumbles. So I look at kind of what I think she wanted to say or hear what she wanted to say, and then I either ignore it or say, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. What was that?" But usually it's like, that's good.
But never accuse her of mumbling. I've made that mistake.
Are you fucking kidding?
Oh my God.
I value my life more.
Either that or did you gain weight?
No.
You never want to say that.
No, never in a million. It's funny because my wife, the other day, we had a Volvo parked in front of our house and we ended up having to get it towed. But she's like, "What's up with the Volvo?" And she had to say it 4 times before I understood that she was saying Volvo. And I made the mistake of saying, "Stop mumbling." And oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Woof. I needed Cheech's stash at that moment, man.
Oh, it's like
I just finished watching the Desi and Lucy story.
How was that?
It's incredible because they had 1 million home movies. They're home movies that.
Wow.
And Desi was such a genius.
I love him.
Such a genius and such a Latino. Oh man, you got to see the show.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It is so good. I can't tell you anything more about it.
Okay.
God, I've been watching it like 3 nights now.
Don't speak then.
Don't speak is the answer. Cheech, what's your favorite type of strain? You mentioned indica earlier, but when it comes to your stash, do you have a preference?
I like dabs more than anything. Because
you've gotten into dabs
because it's helped me along with my recovery. Like I just got a new, just didn't last year, got a new knee, a knee replacement.
Damn.
And it was the second one I had. The first one, they put me on opioids to get over it. Terrible idea, terrible experience. It didn't help my pain, and it got me addicted till I had to kind of get over it. So I waited 10 years to get the next one. And so when I did, I said, I'm not going to do that again. But so dabs came into the picture. I said, I'm going to try that. Perfect.
Damn.
Took away the pain. I didn't have any kind of addiction problems. As soon as I stopped it, no problem. And it was a body high that really solved every aches and pain that I had. And it was 2 months recovery rather than 6.
You're selling me on dabs. Do you have the full kit with the torch, or do you have those units kind of like the Puffco's?
Both ends.
Both.
Yeah.
You're skilled. That's fantastic.
But no, dabs you're really good.
That's your preferred delivery method now?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what kind of role has, obviously I know it's been your life, but has there ever been times where cannabis hasn't been part of your life, or you did take a break and try to separate? And what was that period of your life at that point?
That was called going to Canada.
Going to Canada to meet Tommy?
Yeah, well, before I met him, I was on my way to Canada, and the law was after me. Long story short, but I was a meditator. I still am a meditator. Transcendental meditation since I was 19. Do it most every day.
Oh, it's amazing.
And but there's periods where I need to smoke some dope, and I would do. Then come back to. I'm always meditation in the middle of it. All of that. So
cannabis has been such a resource for me when it comes to staying away from that stuff. So I feel you there.
What was the worst part of it is not only did it not take away the pain, no matter how many you took. At the end of the first need, I was taking 5 Oxycontins at a time.
Damn.
Nothing. And you get depressed as a mother.
Yep.
I just get I don't want to do this, and then all of a sudden the pain stopped, but the addiction kind of went on.
For sure, man. Well, that's why the dabs are a good alternative, needless to say. Living that dab life. Now, how about you, Tommy? What's your preferred method? You were showing some tinctures earlier.
I'm back to joints, smoking joints.
Pre-rolls.
Yeah. I've done everything, but I don't like to work when I'm trying to relax.
you got a good point there.
Although I figured out a workout that you can do with your hands. Like if you need a workout and you don't want to get out of the chair, I got a whole method. In fact, I'm going to write a book about it as soon as I can find the paper. But I use a grinder.
Grinder, that's
know.
your exercise.
I love my grinder.
Exercise. Yeah. And that's why I make joints. And then I like, because then when you get older, you lose your
dexterity.
Your dexterity. And
Fine
so
motor
rolling the joints, it's really good for the brain.
It's good. Yeah,
because you gotta remember.
motors.
Yeah,
You got to remember what side the sticky paper's on, you know,
all that stuff.
because you lick the wrong side and it falls apart on you.
Of course.
So you got to. There's a lot to say about joint rolling.
Wisdom from Chong.
That's what I got here, right here, and then I got.
Look at that thing. That thing is humongous.
This is an NFT. You know, this is going to be worth about $15 million right here in my hand.
Right
what
now,
is it? Oh, that's your
50 cents,
Yeah,
NFT.
one of them.
One of them. You're in the NFT space. I love it.
This here's an NFT. This is a necklace. I got this idea from Cheech. Cheech used to wear this beautiful little bone necklace when I first met him, and so I always envied it. You know, I always wanted one, and so when I had a chance, I got one. And this is also a cigarette or a joint holder. You smoke out of it.
Oh, that's and you've got it in the NFT space.
Well, what I'm going to do is sign it and then photograph it, and then it'll be worth not when we're alive, but it'll be
Glad you threw that disclaimer in.
Yeah, it'll and it's part of me being, or both Cheech and I being, the wealthiest men on the planet.
Of course.
I sell a few of these at a few $1 million a piece.
Yeah.
You're freaking crushing it.
Now.
Yeah.
You're crushing it.
Make us rich.
Yeah.
What about Tommy Chong's cannabis? Can you tell us a little bit about that, Tommy, as far as...
It's so amazing. It is so amazing because it's not just the cannabis. What it is, it's the name. When you put Cheech and Chong, just the name itself, it has the vibration that not only makes the weed strong and powerful, but it makes the weed make you want to laugh. Yeah. You know, it makes you want to listen, and it makes you want to listen to really good music. You know, and it makes you want to stay home, even during there's no reason to go out. You know, there's a lot of people. Their problem with the lockdown was that they couldn't stand living in the space they're at.
Right.
And so they would go to the bar or whatever wherever they were comfortable at. Well, when you're like Cheech and Chong, now both of us have got beautiful pads that to stay home is almost like a big reward. It's a luxury.
It's your retreat.
Yeah. So
we want to have a lot of those around the world.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Be an example.
Let's talk about your first cannabis comic book, which is coming out next year. Ooh. Can you tell us about Cheech and Chong, Chronicle, the History of Weed? That sounds pretty amazing.
Well, it just goes all over the place, and it puts it what the story is historically, and our part in it, because we've kind of, the spirit of Cheech and Chong is materialized throughout the ages, whether it's Cheech and Chong or something else, or Chong and Cheech or whatever, and but it has appeared throughout the ages in one form or another.
And it takes you through the entire history of the plant.
Entire history of weed and its association with human beings. Homo sapiens.
Back in the day, when I was a kid, comic books were the big deal, and everybody had, or all the hip kids had a collection of comic books. Of
course.
And I've always loved comic books. I grew up with them. And so when we get this illustrated book, Cheech and Chong, I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. I've seen a lot of it. It's very good.
But yeah, I mean, I love books, and I'm going blind. So it's weird. It's weird because, I need someone to read to me, or I need special glasses, and it's not comforting, but owning the book itself is comforting.
Of course.
And our thing, it's just another NFT. Really.
Another opportunity, another NFT opportunity for you.
That's right.
To make money while we sleep and make Cheech and Chong the world's richest people.
We're on the path. We'll get there.
Yep.
It is amazing, though, how you're just even looking at, when you do talk about the history of weed. I was just reading an article with Pete Davidson, and there's like a whole new stoner comedy animation project coming out with John Goodman doing a voice. And the whole premise is about this group of 70s stoners who are transported to modern times, 2021. So 50 years in the making. Essentially, when you started your career, these folks are getting transported into modern times. And there's a whole series getting released based on that premise.
And this is what we look like.
Here you are.
They're walking around amongst you.
Yes, you're living proof of it right now.
Like ancient aliens.
Yeah.
That's tremendous. Yeah. Now, Cheech, you also mentioned when I was here on camera that you noticed the artwork, and I know that you have a tremendous passion and I believe a touring collection of Chicano art. You've had that for many years.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art and Culture. When's that coming to fruition? I understand that's in the works.
That will open in Riverside, California on May 8th, the next May 8th.
May 8th of 2022.
It will be the grand opening. It'll be, everybody's invited to come down and see this collection. I have this collection I put together over, 40, 50 years ago. Through the years, and through the years, I've toured it throughout the country at all major museums, Smithsonian, the Young, the LACMA, everyone, all those, and it's been touring around the country. And now it's going to find a final resting place in Riverside, California, because they've offered me a building, a beautiful building to house the collection. It's a 66,000, and check this out, 420 square feet. Is that meant to happen or what?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And so I'm really proud of it. It's going to be a wonderful cultural center that'll open May 8th, and it'll be open to everybody. We hope everybody comes and enjoys the art.
Yeah, talk about a legacy.
Woof. Talk about a tax exemption.
Yeah.
I won't be able to take advantage of it if I live to be 300.
Yeah, of course. Now, we're talking. I represent March and Ash down here in San Diego, and I'm curious, with San Diego's proximity to Mexico and everything, do you guys have any profound San Diego memories, or going down to Baja, early in your career or even more recently?
Oh yeah, I used to go down in high school, and that's when you found out how really fast you were running. Alto.
So you came down here and you partied a lot down in Mexico when you were in high school, like a lot of us.
A fair
of course.
Amount, as long as I partied the adequate teenage amount.
Yes, of course.
And but I always went to Baja because I had cousins in Tecate, and they were the uncle was the head engineer of the Tecate beer plant, and so we went down there a lot. So
that's amazing.
But I've traveled all over Mexico, just about every state through my long and illustrious lifetime, and I love Mexico. I love this. I love the border region. I mean, that's that's the marshes between two cultures, and that's where the growth takes place. That's all the what do they call those guys that watch growth? Growth guys.
Growth guys, cultural experts,
cultural growth guys, and that's where in the tide pools is where evolution happens, and that's the tide pools there, right there.
Yeah, I'm proud of our relations with the border here in San Diego. I promote it. I even took my son down just the other day. We walked across just to go down to Revolucion.
Yeah,
and I showed him all the haunts from back in the day, like Ria Rita and Club A and all that stuff. It was like, oh my gosh.
You see Lucy at where's she dance at the what was the club? I can't remember, but yeah, for all times. And it's cool. Has great restaurants.
Yes, they have quite the scene right now, especially.
Great restaurant scene. I mean, it's like,
wine country.
Also. I'm going down to visit two of the artists and they live outside of Guadalajara, and they have a big art scene going. And a wine thing going there, so it's a wonderful place to visit.
I completely concur. Visit, absolutely, and hopefully it's not a 5.5 hour process getting back across the border.
It was that way the other day when going down to Riverside. So, I mean, how different are we?
Doesn't matter what freeway you're on. What about you, Tommy? Any profound Mexico memories or coming to San Diego?
I didn't know what a Mexican was till I met Cheech. I'm serious. And even when I met Cheech, we didn't think he was Mexican, not in Canada. And he wasn't letting anybody know either. He was Richard Marin.
Yeah.
Richard Marin.
Yeah, Richard Marin. I didn't realize Cheech was Mexican or how Mexican he was until we started performing down in L.A. And then we both found out in a big hurry.
Really quick.
We sure did.
Everybody in Canada thought I was Indian, of one either East Indian or American Native. That was like, hey, hop in, Chief. You know.
Yeah. But Mexico, I love Mexico. Oh, I always have. I'm Canadian, you know. So
yeah, of course, and that was
that's our natural migration. You know, if you got any kind of coin whatsoever in Canada, you migrate down to Mexico every winter, and you stay down there until you learn Spanish, and then you come back.
Hey, weren't you working at a strip club up in Canada at the time in Vancouver, like your dad's strip club, Tommy, or something? But when you first met?
Yeah. No, what it was, I changed the strip club into an improvisational theater club.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had just been operating. I think we'd just been performing for about maybe a week, 2 weeks. We had there was a whole theater group, and there was like a couple of funny guys, me and this ex-doorman named Dave, and then we had Rick Lenz. He was a straight man from an actor. He had acting experience. He was an older actor, but his wife didn't know. His wife didn't know that he was working in a strip club. She thought he was in a little neighborhood theater company. And then we got a front page picture of Rick with two chicks with the boobs in his ears on the front page of the Vancouver paper. And so the wife literally hauled him by the ear out of the club, and he got fired. Well, he quit. And so then I was looking for a straight, someone to take his place. And this mutual friend of ours, this Russian named Ihor Todoruk, is that his name?
Ihor Todoruk.
Ihor Todoruk.
Yeah.
He says, I got just the guy you need. And so he said, come on up to my office out in Richmond and meet him. And so I drove out there with my girlfriend and my little baby, and I met Cheech for the first time. Yep. That's where I met him. And I
we both had
him.
the same thought when we saw each other. What in the hell is this guy?
Sizing each other up.
Yeah.
Again, I never really thought about it. Yeah. You know, because I am another. You know, so anyway, I told Cheech what I had going at the club, and so he says, okay, I'll come down and check it out. And so he showed up, I think that night, Saturday night. I think we met during the week, and then Saturday night you showed up with this gorgeous woman. She was quite gorgeous. Long, full-length mink coat. And we're backstage looking through the curtains and says, oh, there's the guy. It wasn't Cheech. It was, Richard. Well, not even Richard. It was, there's the guy from Richmond. And he came in and he had this tall, gorgeous lady with him. And right away in my mind, I said, he's hired.
And how are you rolling so strong, Cheech? Because you were on the run, right, at that point? I mean, or were you well established within that community?
With the ladies.
With the ladies.
Yeah.
Animal magnetism. That's the only way I can explain it. And it works every time, you know. I mean, it's like,
well, dude, I'll tell you guys.
What was her name?
Sarah.
Sarah. Do you remember? You never forget,
Sarah
do you?
You won't forget this one.
Never.
Sarah Bissenbaum. She doesn't want to talk about it because of his Russian will kill him. But
yeah, not too loud. Not too loud. That's funny.
No. So I don't call ex-wives anymore, because that sounds like cancel culture. I call them former wives.
Former wives.
Former wives.
Former wives.
I like that. I like that.
I thought also one time smoking weed. Another.
That's a little bit close
another
to farmer.
enhancement.
Yeah.
Former is a little close to farmer.
Yeah. Right. Well, either way, it helps me.
Have you ever seen farmersonly.com? Have you ever seen that?
No.
It didn't look like that ad.
Man, I mean, hey, listen.
A couple of them had horns. I don't know what that was about.
Listen, they can lift a bale of hay, though.
Yeah, you know.
So when you guys finally synced up, Cheech, did you have aspirations of being a performer, or were you just trying to get out of the States at that point and not get drafted?
No, I was always a performer.
Always a performer.
Yeah, I was. I made my first record at 5 years old. I was a singer, and the bands were. Then I learned how to play guitar. Then during the folk scare of the '60s, I was involved in that, and then R&B bands and whatever thing, and then. But I could sing Johnny Mathis and the Grateful Dead at the same time.
Yeah.
So when I joined Tommy, I was a singer, but I told him I was this wonderful improv actor, and that was an improv right there.
Even that was an improv.
So what I figured.
Well, we had only been doing the show for about maybe a month.
Yeah.
And so we were. I was all learning how to act too. In fact, did you take a class with Maisie? Were you there when we had a improv class?
No, she was before me. Maisie.
Yeah, she was before
Chinese
you.
girl?
Japanese,
yeah.
Japanese, and she'd been connected with the committee.
Oh, the committee, yeah.
And so she gave us she kind of showed us what we were doing. He explained what we were doing. And then we started doing the improv theater.
What we were doing, Ray, really, when I realized at the end, is we were doing hippie burlesque. It was classic burlesque.
Yeah.
Flippers and comedians, only the comedians in this instance were improv actors, but it was the same format.
Had this vaudevillian feel.
Yeah.
Hey, and vaudeville, that's where they had the bits.
Yeah.
All the great bits were during that era.
Vaudeville routines, yeah. So that's what we did.
And it sounds like you worked on it a lot too. You took classes together, and it was a discipline as well for the two of you.
We did it every night.
Just in the beginning. Yeah.
At the beginning.
Just in the beginning, and then as soon as we started finding out that we could make money, we did the classes as we did the show.
Yeah,
of course.
Hey,
and
that
you came
class
down
went really well tonight. Did you see that blonde on the third row?
And then you synced up, obviously, with Lou Adler, and the rest is history down here in Los Angeles.
Yeah. What else?
I actually know Lou's kids. Cisco is an old,
is
an old friend.
He's 7 sons.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know Cisco and the kid who owns the Roxy, and I'm forgetting his name. Nick Adler. Nick's a great dude.
Yeah, he's a really. We've known all those kids since before they were born.
Yeah, absolutely. I was tripping seeing Lou at the Dodgers game, sitting right behind home plate.
He was in every shot.
Every shot. I was like, "That's so Lou Adler. That's friggin' awesome,
isn't it?
Yeah. So Lou. That's tremendous. Well, he's
running this program called Painted Turtle. It was an outgrowth of Paul Newman's Hole in the Wall gang camp, and he helps underprivileged kids at this camp. Painted Turtle. I just did a thing for them, and it's a really wonderful organization. It helps kids all throughout Southern California. And so, Painted Turtle. Remember it when it opens up again. The camp will be on.
Oh, that's amazing. And you can find it obviously online and contribute as needed.
The Painted Turtle.
The Painted Turtle. I love it. And I can't thank you guys enough for this opportunity and just being able to hang, talk some story, talk your weed. Tommy, I know you're going to be in San Diego at March and Ash on December 17th at their Chula Vista location down in the South Bay. That'll be huge. People are going to go crazy for that. But you were talking, I just wanted to close by saying, you were saying earlier about, no exes and it's former wives. And I know there were seasons during this journey where you guys may have looked at yourselves as former friends. And the fact that you guys have this connection today is just a beautiful thing and gives me a lot of hope with some relationships that may, be in that former status right now. And
there it goes.
it's a beautiful thing seeing you guys so connected and this brotherhood so alive.
It is a beautiful thing. I think it's probably the most sustaining relationship of both of our lives. And it's I always knew it would come back together. We were never really apart, because even we communicated during the time we were separate. Not much, but some enough to know that we were still alive and check in on each other. But it's really nice now. I like the place we're in now.
It's very cool to see. And Tommy, any final words from you as we say goodbye here?
Have we started recording yet?
No. We'll start recording in about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Huh?
What's your name again?
My name's Chris. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Chris.
And yeah.
He's the paper boy, the guy that delivers the paper every day. He's
Yeah.
the guy.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, yes.
Hey, we got to get on. I'd like to be on your show sometime.
It'd be great to have you on. It'd be great to talk to you and have you on to talk about Tommy Chong's cannabis and all that stuff.
Cheech has got an art place in
I think he's heard
in
about it.
Riverside.
That's what I hear. That's
May
what I
8th.
hear.
May 8th. And I love this painting behind these frogs. I really
You've
like
heard
it
it
a
here.
lot.
Thank you.
You've heard it here. Cheech's place is only a front. It's a tax dodge.
It's a tax.
So is Cheech and Chong. So help us accomplish this tax job. We can show you how to do it.
Absolutely. Make us the wealthiest people on the planet.
I'll start it right now. Where can I get your T-shirt, Tommy? I think that shirt is amazing that you're wearing.
This one?
It's a Cheech and Chong with a giant plant.
Go on, Google it or whatever.
Google it.
Hey, go Google yourself.
I'll Google you guys and do a better job with interviewing you next time. All right, gentlemen. Continued success, health, much love to the two of you. It's been
All right,
an
we'll
absolute
see you,
treat.
Sandy. Bye-bye.
Are we done?
Yep.
We're done. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you
take care,
both.
man.